The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, Paige. Good.
Hi, Tom.
How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal Edge. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. People who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico and Haan and Paige Clarke.
Good morning. I'm Nico and Haan. Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced, natural, wild world.
To recover our natural health, our rights, and our freedoms. Good morning. I'm Paige Clarke.
It's a beautiful day in downtown Clearwater, 61 degrees, a little cloudy, but the cold is over. And,
I missed that cold.
And Paige is back.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
I'd like to remind everybody, pick up our Health Signals newsletter, 2 issues a month for $10. Gives you all the research you need to go
And
down
make
that.
sure you pick up our Primal Edge Daily Nutrition, natural vitamins, minerals, cofactors, antioxidants, all in a liquid complex powered by fulvic and humic, which helps you get the good stuff in.
And take the bad stuff out. And the number here is 877-927-6648. Of course, you can always reach Paige and I after hours at TFNN.com. Nico or Paige at TFNN.com.
That's right.
Welcome back.
Thank you. It was really a great trip. For those of you guys don't know, I went down to Mexico. I went to Playa del Carmen, hung out with Dr. Jack Kruse's Optimized Living group. It's a membership group. How cool is that, to have a thought leader go on vacation and say, come on down and, I'll teach you a thing or two, but we're going to have to do it sitting on the beach or in the pool.
Not a bad thing to do, that's for sure.
It was just wonderful.
Yeah.
It was absolutely, and as you guys may be noticing, we'll talk about this in a minute, but, I'm really all in. I've been studying so many things, but this stuff that Jack Kruse is teaching us about the power of light magnetism, temperature, time, circadian rhythm is just so crucial to health. It just can't get more elegant, but also simple. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it makes sense to me because the natural world is what made us who we are. So
we have to return to this natural world.
Yeah, we really do, because there's a lot of artificial stuff, and it's just only recently, I think in the last 20 years, we really learned how damaging certain light is. And this is one of the reasons you're wearing those glasses, and you're going to tell us a little bit about that. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah. So before we get into the glasses, I want to just tell you what was so cool. Why did we go to Playa del Carmen? Why this spot in Mexico? So for those of you who don't follow Jack Kruse, the first thing you want to do is write his name down, Jack Kruse, Kruse. He's a neurosurgeon and a thought leader in optimizing health, using, very much his own research, but the research of Dr. Doug Wallace. Many people think Dr. Doug Wallace is out of the CHOP Hospital, which is actually in Philadelphia, right? I'm sorry. Yeah, it's Children's Hospital, Philadelphia, but he's been doing research. Many people believe he's going to get multiple Nobel Prizes shortly, based on his work on mitochondrial health. And really, what it comes down to is learning to block artificial blue light, non-nanometer, non-native EMFs, and follow a circadian cycle of the sunlight. And it's amazing. So our deal is where we had to get up in the morning, be at sunrise,
Right.
and get that solar radiation into our eyes, and then enjoy sunset. So you're really getting that healing infrared, a lot of stuff we learned when Robbie was on.
Yes.
We're getting that healing infrared, reds and purple hues of the magnetic spectrum in the early morning and the evening. And as a result, the primal man, when the sun went down or the sun hadn't come up, it was that hue, that early morning hue. And we always talk about from the electric universe, it was probably more purple, right?
Yes.
In past times.
Right.
So let's just call it the reds and purples.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't, then we're constantly bombarded by these blue lights. And no offense, but we're here. It's not broad day noon, and we've got all these blue lights. But this is telling our body clock, and our eyes are a body clock, that it's noon. And so that's not good. It messes up our circadian rhythm. And so you guys are going to see me because I've really I felt so different. Someone says it's Paige's Elton John. I'm like, hey, whatever. Anyways, it's really good as far as getting your clock back on time. And I'm going to get you. So I want to introduce you to my buddy who was on the trip. His name is Matt Maruca.
Okay.
And Matt Maruca is this cool 19-year-old world traveler kid who's just so smart. He really embraced Jack's work because he suffered from so many anxiety and sleep disorders and stress-related disorders and not feeling right, and struggled with, high school and so forth, and feeling so bad.
Yeah, and some of the things that people who go down this path to looking for our health are usually doing that because something happened either in their family or they're not satisfied with the way they are themselves. So that's when they start going down and looking at the research and finding people who are talking about these kind of things. And, a lot of times you find the solutions.
Exactly. And we'll show Matt's website where you can get some blue blockers that actually block even more than the ones that I have on right now. I hate to say, I've got mine on order. This is Raw Optics. And Matt custom tints the frames. He's got a number of tints. He tints the frames.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I mean the lens, excuse me, so that it blocks out 99% of all the blue light. It was funny. All you had to do to look for our group was look on the beaches of Playa del Carmen, and wherever you saw people with no sunscreen and no sunglasses, that was our group. And then at night at the dinner table in the nice restaurants, all you had to do was look for all the people with the blue
sunglasses.
with the blue blocker. We wear our sunglasses at night. All of our blue blocker glasses on, and that was our table. I'm telling you, I learned a lot because I didn't realize, and man, the women in this group, we have some powerful women in this group. Basically, when the sun goes down, the lights go off, or they've already remediated their homes with only red light bulbs.
Okay.
Or they all use candlelight. Some of them even use this headset that has red bulbs right here. So when they're walking around the house,
they're looking at the red lights.
Yeah. They're and I'm just going to have fun, and because I felt so different there. But why did I feel different?
Yeah, that's the key right there. Right?
And I'm going to talk about that when we get back. But take a look at Raw Optics. I mean, maybe you can scroll down, Nico. They've got some really great fashion glasses. We are a bunch of really good-looking glasses. You've already picked one out you want.
You can actually send them a frame.
You can send him a frame if you want to, but he's already got some great-looking frames, and it really helps you get your body clock back on track.
And there's on the website here, they're explaining why, of course, and that's a real crucial thing. You have to learn that.
And what I love about Matt was so aggressive in learning all this stuff. He learned Jack. He actually went to Dr. Doug Wallace, the guy who's going to get the Nobel Prize most likely, the foremost mitochondrial health researcher in the world. And he went and interviewed him, Matt did, and he offered Matt a chance to come work in his lab.
Oh,
I mean,
nice.
how cool is that?
Very cool.
And so I'm hoping that you guys will support this young kid. He makes these phenomenal glasses for you, and they look good, and they'll keep you healthy. So when we get back, I want to talk to you. Why is it not just the light? It's also where we are, the magnetism, and the water, and some of the things I learned. We'll be right back.
Stick around, folks, and pick up some Primal Edge during the break, and Paige and I will be right back. Great to have you back.
Thank you.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Hi, welcome back. Did you know that artificial light is stealing your health and vitality? You probably know that all living organisms contain a body clock that controls your metabolism, hormones, sleep, growth, and repair. And this clock is set by the daily cycle of night and day, and that makes sense. But did you know that blue light frequencies, especially those present in cell phones and TVs and all modern lighting, think LED here.
Yeah, think all these light bulbs they replaced.
They also tell your brain that is daytime suppressing melatonin levels, damaging your sleep, you're damaging the repair that's going on. It's not happening. Your hormones are out of whack, and it steals your energy, vitality, destroying your performance, and actually accelerating your aging and disease generation.
Hey, that just pretty much hits it right on the button. And what I want to share with you all is that probably, how do you implement a lifestyle change like this so that you become in sync with nature, which is, as far as I'm concerned, is the true living a primal lifestyle, the name of our show.
That's right.
The very first thing you do is you get up with the sun and you look at the sun and you want to gaze into the sun or right at the sun and let that light signal program. Light is information. And the information from the sun goes in and helps tell our body what hormones to make. And guess what the hormone is you make at sunrise?
Melatonin, so
yeah,
it
you
can
make
be activated
you make
later.
the melatonin for night.
Right.
So if you're not seeing that early morning sunlight, you're not actually properly making your melatonin. Why do we have so many sleep disorders, guys? So take that time to enjoy a beautiful sunrise. Man, I just realized that, my granddaddy used to say, if you miss the sunrise, you miss the best part of the day. And I really think he was right. And I think many of us do.
Yeah, and I certainly do that. And I do watch the sunrise. And also, I think humans have always had a fascination for the sun, and especially the sunrise and the sunset. Heck, you go to Key West or any type of westerly land where it's kind of jutting out. People will have kind of a little festival there every night just for the sunset.
And we need to do it even if we don't live on the westerly side,
yes.
And we're very blessed, well, kind of blessed here in Tampa Bay in that we have sunrise and we have sunsets. You know, we can literally drive 5 minutes to the bay and watch the sunrise, and
Yeah.
then drive over to the west to see.
But how many people actually here do that? We're stuck in buildings and schools.
Well, that's what I realized I had done. I had gotten to the point where I just drove past the beach and I wasn't giving its due. And I'm turning over a new leaf for this year. I'm gonna pay attention.
Well,
and
you
I'm
do
gonna
seem a lot
engage.
more vibrant now that you're back. I'll tell you that.
Well, I know that one of the things I learned was a little disturbing. I'll share it with you guys. Is what's important is that you get your water, proper water, and that's deuterium depleted water. We're going to do whole shows on that, guys. Really important. And then that you get magnetism and that you get proper UV light. So we have a lot of good UV light here in Tampa.
Yes.
We're at a good latitude. We can stimulate the vitamin D, provided we get into it. We can remember the light that you get early morning sunrise is not the UVB. It's some of these early morning spectrum frequencies and the UVA. These are very important programming lights, very healing to be on the body and in the eyes. Best thing to do is to be naked when you're absorbing these suns. You need them everywhere. But unfortunately, what we have going on here in Tampa Bay is we are in one of the most damaging locations from an EMF standpoint. Jack's solution is move. No, I mean, serious. We have MacDill Air Force Base.
Right.
We have marine radar. We have the Doppler radar. So we are also very unintelligently have chosen to become the test site for 5G. So this is in the next 2 years. If we think we have illnesses that we see now, you just wait. It's time to and the difference is I try to say, well, how is this different than a lot of the people in the bulletproof world? He says, or somebody said it. Maybe I shouldn't attribute this to Jack, but in our conversations, a lot of the people in that world are trying to. They're blue light toxic people that want to tolerate the blue light and they want to biohack it. But what Jack's telling us is the 5G is not biohackable. It's
too
devastation. It's devastation. So I bet you when you go home and you put on your iPhone and you pick up your wireless networks at home, I bet you have one that says Nico regular, and then you have one that says Nico 5G.
5G, yes.
You need to call them today and say, turn that sucker off. Now, true, it's not fully implemented, but they're using you as a test. So they're pulsing 5G to you. And you just call them, because I called my office and I said, hey, I don't want this. Would you come get this box? He goes, oh, well, your box is 5G enabled, but I can turn it off here. I said, do it and do it now.
Okay.
And you want to do that because that's part of the deal. They're doing little tests with us. And that's just not something you want. You know, most of the people that are in the Optimized Living group and Jack's group, most of them have iPhone 5s or earlier. They don't want.
They don't want the new ones.
We're so sucked into the new ones, like it's something that we.
Oh
need.
yeah, this is every 18 months you want a new phone. That's
And
sure.
if you started to feel like maybe some of these things make your hands numb and everything, so that is a disappointing thing. So many of the big cities are rolling out 5G, and these are places you don't want to be. We have a guy in the group who I hope to have on the show. So I mean, how cool is it to sit around on the beach with a neurosurgeon and a laser physicist and have them tell you, when you say, well, how can I fix my environment? You can't. That's how bad it is. Now, as opposed to why Playa del Carmen, why does a neurosurgeon that knows the truth spend 8 times a year down on Playa del Carmen?
Okay, why?
Because Playa del Carmen, or that whole coast, that whole Yucatan coast of Mexico, was formed when an asteroid hit.
Right.
So there's a certain energy.
That's 65 million years ago when the dinosaurs were.
Right.
Yeah.
So most likely it's the same bacteria from which we spawned. Okay? And the magnetism is 400 to 500% higher than we have here. So when we go there, that's why we feel so good.
So energy.
The energy, just walking on the beach and being in the water and stuff, the 2-3G, because it's poor country, right? And the engineer the physicist that we're going to have on the show, he said, we're human batteries and we need to recharge. What 5G and beyond does to us is it makes it physically impossible to discharge and recharge.
Very interesting.
So Jack goes down there 8 times a year and just says, hey, I'm going down, and you can head down there and join.
So I have a vision of all these healthy people in the Tampa Bay area going around and destroying all these 5G towers at night, you know. I mean...
Well, and, you know, there's so many, I'm part of so many groups, you know, like EMF Warriors, guys, you know, get on those sites. You know, people think that they can biohack this. And, a lot of the bulletproof environment, here's a device and here's this. And these EMF warrior guys, these guys are engineers like, sorry, doesn't work. But there are some beneficial energies that can help us deflect it.
Okay.
But the best thing is to relocate yourself. The physicist that was there has 2 small children. He's involved in when the big telecom companies put the fiber optics down over the world. He's the guy that's like engineering it. It's like a New York City-based thing. He doesn't live there. He lives in Pensacola, Florida. Because why? He's from India. He has dark skin. He requires high UV light. Actually, he's thinking about moving to Mexico, Playa del Carmen, for those same magnetic flux reasons. And but literally, he commutes for his business. I mean, he has realized the damage. And I said, well, you're in Pensacola, I'm in Tampa Bay. He wouldn't live here for nothing. And that's sad.
So
sorry, guys. I mean, the truth is the truth.
So I guess we have to find out how we not only there is no biohack for this, there's actually moving, which a lot of us can't do. So let's continue the conversation.
Yeah, and Matt, I'll answer that question when we get back.
Okay. We'll be right back, folks. Stick around. The number here is 877-927-6648.
Would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about The Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive The Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on The Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. So we've been talking about my trip with Dr. Jack Kruse and the Optimized Living Group, members group, down to Playa del Carmen, Mexico to recharge and discharge a lot of the negative EMFs and regain some of that great magnetics of that area. And I want to point you to the drjackkruse.com, jackkruse.com website. It's one of the best things is the Getting Started guide, because boy is it a treasure trove of information. It's a full-time life event really to get the information here, and I want to go kudos to his beautiful, wonderful wife Sandy, who I know has a lot to do with making this all palatable. I'm sure he has a great team of people, but really does give you a Getting Started guide, getting involved in the forum. He's very active on the forum, very busy neurosurgeon, makes the time to interact. Sometimes he's very accommodating of your questions, and other times he lets you know that he expects you to dive in and go find the answer. Very true. He's really something else. Really appreciated his time and attention on that trip to all of the people there. I think everyone did. It was a great time.
So you're telling me that moving is the best option, but of course there's many people who are vested in certain areas because of work, and of course we have your family there maybe, or maybe it's because of your mortgage, that type of thing. So if you can't move, then the suggestion
Well, if you're seriously ill, he'll say you have to move. You got to sell your house.
Right.
But if not, I think what we have to start looking at is the importance of getting to these areas where we can discharge this. I mean, I feel so different because you all know I haven't been feeling kind of myself for a little bit, and I just feel so much better. I feel more like myself, and that's what happens when you get the right amount of UV. I also had a consult with him, and we went into some of the SNPs I have for my 23andMe, and we identified a SNP that he goes, wow, I know as an Irish girl you need cold and light. He said, but now I know you really need a lot of light. And it made a lot of sense. Here I live in Florida, but honestly, when I really hacked myself the last year and a half, 2 years, I've been light deprived. I've just been like a machine, not really taking that time. And boy, what a difference that week made.
Yeah.
I mean, I just wish I could have been there another couple of weeks,
When I first started jiu-jitsu, we were in a warehouse, and we still are in a warehouse, but it's more closed in.
Probably fluorescent lights.
Yeah, well, it's not so much fluorescent light as that we always opened both of those doors, front and back, and always the air came in, whether it was 100 degrees in the summertime or it was really cold in the wintertime. That's the way we always trained. And I always feel better when it's open like that rather than just an enclosed room.
Well, very important when you're riding in a car, put your windows down because the UV light comes in, but you don't get the right light through the glass.
Okay.
So you do want to have open windows. And so you're saying your new gym doesn't have the...
Well, it's more enclosed, and because of the children and the parents who are watching the children, they keep the place closed up pretty much. But when us seniors come in, we tend to open it up. But I really do miss the time when it was always open. That's the way it was.
Maybe they can get one of those gates, they put up that's like almost like a...
Oh yeah,
there's
ways to do it. It's just that we don't do it as much, and I just feel like it was just a lot of different energy when those doors are always open, no matter what it is, whether it's cold or hot or anything. It's because if you're in a fight, in a real fight, you're not going to pick, okay, well, let's go in the air conditioning and do this.
Right, exactly.
So,
it's more like how it would really be.
Right. And I was reading a thing on the web the other day about gun owners, and because we have a lot of gun owners, and just changing the subject just for a minute, but there's no real practice for gun owners in a real situation. Yeah, you can practice shooting, and you can practice kind of different scenarios that may show up.
In these, like, shooting ranges and so forth?
Well, shooting somebody.
Right.
Or scaring somebody off, or even punching somebody is kind of a foreign thing to us unless you have done it.
Yeah.
Because you tend to pull back. So real situations are harder to do. That's why I love jiu-jitsu so much, because it's actual real. You're fighting for real. It's the tapping that stops the action. So, practicing is really important in guns. But, well, let's get back to this.
Well, what you're really saying, though, is this, it's important that we look at the whole environment.
That's right.
And that's kind of my point today, is that, and we've always said this on the show, living a primal lifestyle is doing the first things first, the right things, and going back. And that's what really impressed me with this group, and the ladies in the Jack Kruse, group were just phenomenal.
How
I feel like I've made
there,
friends for life. I'd say about, well, this is the thing. He was there for 3 weeks.
Okay.
So there was like a whole crew that was there before the holidays. I came in just right before New Year's. and did New Year's up until about the 7th or 8th. So
So you had people coming in and out.
so 50. There was always like 50 or so.
Wow.
A lot of husbands and wives, and
Wow.
I was very impressed. It was almost like I could see you and Ellen there
Sure.
embracing this, because a lot of husband and wives that were really invested in this lifestyle together.
Yeah.
And I did cold thermogenesis every single day, because at the facility that we were staying, they had a polar plunge.
That's really
and
cool.
we need access to this. Cold is one of the most fascinating things to reset fat burning and to restore mitochondrial health. The cold tells the old mitochondria that are damaged and not performing to die, and new ones to be generated. It is amazing.
Yeah, I noticed the difference too. I did my cold plunges this last weekend.
Yeah, because you had, while I was gone, it was cold here.
Oh, it was really cold,
yeah.
and getting in a hot tub at 104 degrees and then jumping in the pool, which was about 47, 48 degrees. A lot different than the 60 degrees I'm used to, and I could count to like 100 to 150 staying in there, but then I had to get out. It was
You know how
cold.
long we stayed in the plunge?
I can imagine 5 minutes or so, or
30.
30 minutes.
30 minutes. That was my
Wow.
longest. That was my longest. And then there were certain days that
I got to get on the ball.
well, this is the thing. We got to find. It's hard. You and I have talked about this on the show. It's hard for us to get the water cold.
Yeah.
And but I mean, the team of people there, everyone's got solutions. Many of them have bought aquarium chillers.
Oh.
And then they hook them up. And I've got this idea of taking this old ball and clawfoot tub I have and putting it on my back patio, because it's got like the drainage hole, where I can drain things, and getting an aquarium chiller and plugging it in and keeping the water cold.
How cold is that?
Oh, the plunge that we stayed in for?
No, I'm talking about the chiller, like the...
Well, I don't know the techs. You know me, I'm not very techy, but there is a chiller. You can buy like an aquarium chiller. I haven't looked it all up yet.
Okay.
But the water that we were plunging in was like 12 degrees Celsius or 60 degrees.
Yeah.
That's cold water.
Yeah.
That is really, you don't realize that is really cold water. And even our Gulf, I don't even think it gets that low in the winter.
Right now it's at about 67, the Gulf here. So
that's a good plunge for us.
And I was plunging in at 59, 60 here.
Oh yeah, last week.
Last week. So I really did feel the difference. And the neat thing, when you get out, it's like it's warm out.
Yeah,
And
well,
even when it was
that
cold
is your
out.
body, the mitochondria going to work getting you warm. So really, in reality, Nico, right now in the winter, it is a good idea to go for a swim in the beach, because you're going to get the magnetism and you're going to get the cold water.
Right.
And the shivering is actually a good sign. It's a sign that you're going into fat burning. Ideally, you would maybe eat before, not eat right after, so you stay in that fat burning mode.
Right.
And but like Jack said, any temperature under your body temperature is still going to give you the CT. Sitting,
I do
the
believe
first
that
day,
too, yeah.
the first day we were sitting in the pool, and the pool water was probably 78. He said it's still 20 degrees below your
Right.
body.
Exactly.
So you get all kinds of benefits. So, folks, we're going to teach you how to implement these techniques that we're learning as part of the Optimized Living group. I want to share these with you. What I love about it is most of them don't cost you anything. It's not another supplement. It's not telling you what you got to eat. People thrive on all kinds of foods, like Jack says. It's getting the environment right. You can't get well in the environment that made you sick. Fix your environment. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back, folks.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics, including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And welcome back to the show. I'm impressed. 30 minutes in the cold. That's
well,
cool.
I want to preface that. I only did that one time. I think it was the first time I had the peer pressure. I was with these more seasoned women, and I was like, I can hang with you guys.
Yeah.
I can hang. Most of my times it was 20, and even one day I only stayed in 12. You know, there's certain days it just felt colder. But as you become more fat adapted and efficient, mitochondrially healthy, you can do more, and I think you crave it. But the point I want to make is that I thought that was one of the main things that was missing in my health protocol, and it was interesting that Jack looked at my SNPs on, and I actually have like one of the SNPs that's kind of in the red zone on my 23andMe that says that I'm a high dopamine person, and when I'm balanced with that, but I'm going to be naturally higher. That's one of the reasons I can read things, absorb things, kind of mentally. A lot of stockbrokers and investment people have this high dopamine, but when you get out of balance, you can get real anxiety and nervous, and light imbalance. Dopamine is stimulated. That's the other neurotransmitter that's stimulated from light. Very important to get in the light. And so that was one of the real takeaways, that I live in this environment where I have a great light environment and need to get out in it. And I think most of you all do too. And I wanted to say, if any of you guys are listening, maybe you can show I don't know if it's still up, the jackkruse.com. Well, either way, go to jackkruse.com, sign up for their newsletter, or get involved somewhere, maybe even make a comment that you heard about it with Paige and Nico and the trip, and because I think he'll come on our show.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Only conflict we might have is that he does surgery so much in the morning and so forth. But I think this is how important it is to him. He said he has rearranged his surgery times a little bit so that he can see the morning sunrise. So he doesn't miss a sunrise. So from that standpoint, we may actually be able to catch him maybe right before he's going in.
Yeah.
And he literally in the hospital makes his office has people go out and get sun breaks and so forth. So he practices what he preaches.
Which is a nice thing. Yeah.
So the water is something too that I want to talk about. You know, we've had Robbie helping us so much with learning about water and the importance of drinking water that has been enhanced by nature. But in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about deuterium-depleted water. Maybe Google some of Jack's articles of recent or podcasts on deuterium-depleted water. The water in the Yucatan from that 65 million year asteroid, the what has happened is their water is just really healthy, and there's these little cenotes. And cenotes, the best way I can explain is we think of them as cold springs.
Okay, yes.
So they're cold water springs that are all over. So the people there go and pop in and go into the cenotes. But that's why it's also so healing. These waters have the magnetism. It's just super.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of people are realizing that maybe they can't leave their environment, but the people that were there from Toronto, Vancouver, Canada, Europe, a lot of people from England there, and they are making these trips to Mexico and these places where they can recharge and discharge the bad stuff.
So what was the age group like?
I mean, anyone down from a lot of the people that were there brought their kids. I thought that was really impressive. I could see myself. I've been threatening with my kids that we were going to get away from the thing about Christmas and have a Christmas experience. I think I might just do that and go hang with
like
Jack next year and bring my kids. So they were up to close to 80. So we had a whole range, a lot of husband and wives working it together. So it was a really nice group.
Now, was this expensive, though?
Well, where we stayed is an all-inclusive. That's where Jack stays. It is an all-inclusive, but when you really start to look at the food, it was really delicious.
So the food was included in it?
I actually kind of waited till the last minute, procrastinated, and because of the holidays, the resort was booked.
Okay.
And so I had to book it one real close to it, but it actually ended up okay, so I bought a day pass. So I ended up paying like $100 a day to be, so I could be with the group because we were all in the resort. But it was really no big deal. I just woke up at sunrise and walked along the beach and met everybody at the beach, got my day pass, and we were all set. But expensive or whatever else, it's a wonderful way to recharge and get that solar radiation, get the right magnetism, deplete yourself of deuterium. When you sit in the cold thermogenesis, you get rid of the deuterium charged water. You want deuterium depleted water. And I'll explain that more later. That's a whole other conversation. But that's what we want, because when you become full of deuterium, that's a sign that your mitochondria are not healthy, your cells aren't. We swell. And it's something called heteroplasmy rate. And as we age, every year we decrease our heteroplasmy, or our heteroplasmy increases. And that means our mitochondria are not as active and functioning well. We tend to swell, and we tend to swell too, and repairs down and energy's down.
Right.
So we'll talk more about that, and hopefully we'll get Jack on the show, because he's so. And I would tell you guys, you can learn so much from reading Jack Kruse's blogs. You can also get a great deal of information by just going to YouTube and Google Jack Kruse and see his interviews. He's very generous with his time. Many podcast hosts have had him on the shows. He's just a fun person to be around. He lives in New Orleans. He enjoys life, and he engages, and he shoots straight from the hip. He didn't sugarcoat anything. And don't forget, go visit Raw Optics and check out the blue blocker glasses that my buddy Matt Maruka has started his little company. He's traveling the world teaching young people about how toxic blue light is. And I think probably the generation below us, these young kids, they've grown up in this blue light world.
Yeah.
And I think that having someone like him to assimilate Jack and Dr. Wallace's tough research and make it easy to understand for even our age person. I mean, I send people to Matt because he's real and believable. Here's a kid, he's 18. He's made these changes in his life. And so I want to support him. And I think it would be great. Probably could get Matt on too, get him to call in.
Yeah.
He's a doll.
Well, it's nice to start young. I know we had some electrical problems over at my place, and the company that I got to work on the electrical problem was really professional and everything. But the owner came up to me and he says, "Oh, you work out?" He says, "You're a personal trainer." He says, "Really good." And we talked for a while, and he looked at me. He says, "Man," he says, "you're really fit in that." He says, "I really want to talk to you about how you're doing it." And he says, "You must be like in your 50s." And,
Wow.
He didn't realize I was in my mid-70s almost. And
no, you don't look your age.
Well, It's really about embracing some of these changes, and I haven't done this change, but I'm really
But you already
interested
do a
in-
lot of this.
I do a lot of things, and I want to do more, and I definitely want to be on the cutting edge, and I want to be able to relate to people who are not doing it and say, hey, this is something that might work for you, because I think it's very, very important.
I like things that have an impact.
Yeah,
and
I
I
do
had
too.
an impact and on what happened in a week. I could feel that difference of how I felt more like myself.
Yeah.
And so we all have a vision of, I want to feel like myself, you know, of how we look and feel when we feel more like ourselves. So I caught a glimpse. And so we're all results driven. So when you start to see results by
That's the
making
key.
changes, you're like, hey, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep educating you guys. Simple stuff. Get up. How tough is this? Wake up, look at the sun, get in the sun, walk barefoot. You know, it can't get much simpler than that.
That's for sure. When we come back, we're going to be talking a little bit about getting older and still having that vitality. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
No matter where you're listening to TFNN programming, you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones, iPads, and Android devices, located in the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and call-in talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com, educating investors.
I'm sure it does. And welcome back, folks. We're here. I ran across this site, and it's from the New York Times by Christopher Squeeze. And they're talking about in Holland where they're doing...
Where you're from.
Where I'm from,
Where
yes.
it's cold and dark.
That's where it is now, that's for sure. But they're doing these obstacle courses with the older folks, okay? So
that's cool.
they're doing different kinds of training here.
Wouldn't it be nice if they were doing them outside? It's
That
probably
would be
cold
much
there.
better, yeah.
Right.
Get that roof and retract it a little bit. But you can see they're doing little balancing exercises for the adults here.
See, that's good to see. And I think that is a sign. As we get older and our agility falls and we become more say, I think this really applies when we become disconnected from the magnetic flux. So the more you're barefoot, I mean, maybe just getting these people to be barefoot some and on the ground to get that. We've got to discharge the bad stuff, but we got to bring the good charge in.
So this is a nice step in the right direction where they're actually taking groups of the elderly folks and teaching them balance and all kinds of cute little tricks and stuff, and getting exercise, of course. It would be better if it was outside. Maybe not now because it's winter there too, but I always felt that falling is probably the worst thing that can happen when you're older and you break a hip. And
here you are, 70-something, rolling around on
that's
the ground.
why I'm doing it, because I was always had the fear of that. I didn't want to be the person that couldn't get up. I want to be that active person. I feel as long as I can keep doing it, I'll do it. I saw a video on YouTube yesterday of this elderly couple was dancing. And the guy says, man, he says, you know, the woman was really flat on her feet. And after dancing with her, he found out she was 92.
Oh, my gosh.
She's just floating around. And, you know, so we have the capability of doing so many things. So strength training, you know, the guest I had last week, Steve Lane, really into movement when he was in his teens already. So, you know, we need to really find out how to move and how to go to areas, just going for walks like you did on the beach and taking these dunks. You can't stop this, folks. This has to be part of your life through the rest of your life. It has to start today and it has to keep going if you want to be healthy, especially since the modern stressors are here, and now we have the potential.
9-nanometer EMF and the 5G.
And now we have a ground solar minimum coming, which is even going to stress us more because now we have unusual weather coming in. So
how about that? You know, I want to talk about that too. I was, you know, it's just amazing. Came back and everyone's talking about the cold that we had here in Florida, and people arguing with me. Oh, but the news is saying this is just a U.S. phenomenon, that everything else is warm. And then David Dubine keeps us updated with the truth on ADAPT 2030.
It's colder than heck in
Europe. It's colder than heck. We got elephants wearing sweaters.
That's right.
You know? We got but, yeah, life is tricky, guys. You got to dive down into it. And we hope that you'll start taking some precautions in the new year with your health and seek out these primal environments. It's just as primal as it gets. There is nothing more primal than being connected with nature and feeling the ground, good water, good sunlight, letting the sun reset your biological clock so that you can stay healthy.
Yeah, that's what it's about for us here, and we're going to continue. This is like a second or third show.
It's not all about the food. We talk a lot about the food, guys. But like Jack says, and you know, he's made friends and enemies, you know, because he in the paleosphere and the primal sphere, you know, people are so about the food, and I love the food, and we talk a lot about the food, except for oysters. It is about oysters. You know, he's a big fan of oysters and says that the oyster is really the food that primal man used to grow our big brains, which has given us a lot of our capabilities today.
Well, I think so. I think seafood, large animals, I mean, we are the carnivores of Earth, and we're the supreme beings here. And
it's really about the food. But it's about when you eat that food. You know, if you're eating your big meal at 10, 11 o'clock at night, you're sending a really circadian mismatch about your food. If you're eating a banana in Boston...
In the wintertime.
In the wintertime, that ain't right. So we're going to learn all this stuff. We're going to share it with you. We're going to help you live a primal lifestyle so you can stay healthy and wealthy. And we'll see you next show.
Yeah, stick around for another year, folks. We'll be back.
See you later.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. sequence. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.